Good Thursday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age YouTube channel that talks about the cars and trucks and motorcycles and SUVs and the dogs. And wow, another green over pond. Morning there. Thanks for tuning in my channel. Come on, pups. Come on, Will. Got my neighbor walking his dog, so the dogs are going to go nuts any second here. But anyways, good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning into my channel this morning. Watch me talk, and come on there. I've left Lily behind me back there, the other dog, but he'll see my neighbor. He'll bark once, and all the dogs are going to go black there. Then I got to chase the dogs around the neighborhood. Oh, my goodness gracious. Come on, Will. Will, you've been left behind. Come on, let's go. Everybody get in. Well, get these guys in. Won't be a big deal. Will can go do his little antics. Wow, got the lightning truck. Working on the lightning all week. Come on. Come on, let's go. Get in. What's your problem? Get in. Get in. Come on, Will. Hey, we're making progress here. Will, let's go. Oh, my gosh. The dogs. Where's the little German Shepherd, right? He's in the house with the daughter. And let me get my phone. Let me get my stuff here in order. Tell you what, this lightning truck is such a great work vehicle. I mean, I know the anti-EV vehicle people, but I'm going to tell you what. This Ford Lightning truck for working for your business, come on, let's go. It's a great work vehicle. Expensive as all get out. Come on. So, yes, to fight for the dogs. Yeah. Come on. This makes no sense. These dogs were out 5 minutes ago, running around the yard. Come on, let's go. Willow. Oh, yeah. Look at all the bikes. How many motorcycles do I have? Come on, Will. Yeah, you just take forever, dog. You're an old fart. Jesus Christ. Gotta get my coffee in me. Gotta get going. I got a late start. That was a hectic day yesterday, pouring concrete. If you didn't watch the dad and daughter work day, you should check out that video of witnessing my daughter and I doing a concrete job yesterday. Two of us out in 90+ degree weather doing concrete job, man. I'll tell you what. Yeah, I've been doing that for years, but as I get older, man, that's tough stuff. It gets you. But we knocked it out and went for my kid. Wow. Went for my kid. I don't even know how I would have done it. I mean, there's no way. Years ago, I did a lot of work on my own. As I get older in life, there's no way. I mean, there's just no way. Can't do it anymore. And anybody that gets in their 50s and 60s, if you don't start to notice a change, like me, I don't know what you're taking. You know, really, what's incredible is, so LeBron James' son, that had cardiac arrest. This is what, a 18-year-old, 19-year-old kid, it's LeBron James' kid. I mean, wow. Anybody hear about that story? Wow. What's that all about? I personally think it's the supplements. I think that the supplements are probably there's so many variables. Some people want to call it out that you got the vaccine and all that stuff. But for me, these athletes today have access, and I'm not even abreast to it because I'm not in the radical athletic field and all this other stuff, but my assumptions are just when I was growing up, you know, the access to the steroids, and then as time progressed, all these different supplements and everything, it was huge. And even the point for me, I never took steroids, and I did take some supplements, and like creatine. I kind of started taking creatine a little bit for a while, but boy, I tell you what, I just had this gut instinct that, you know, you use that stuff long term, you're going to have some, you know, sad stories. So anyways, my speculation with a lot of these athletes is I just think they're in these incredible supplements that are borderline steroids capability, that you hear these sad stories of these athletes just dropping dead or having cardiac arrest. And we witnessed it on the Buffalo Bills game last year, that one. Well, I don't know. He got that hard hit, so I don't think that was that. That was that impact hit. But anyways, whole point is for Bronny James, the young man who's an incredible athlete for LeBron James, what a sad story to hear that this guy had a cardiac arrest. And I guess I haven't really been following it that much, but the reason I'm bringing this up is because I think that if you ever participated in sports, especially at my age when I was younger, and you didn't kind of play the level of what others played at, you were left behind. I mean, you wouldn't make the team. You wouldn't make the football team, wouldn't make the basketball team. And when I used to do weightlifting, I definitely felt left behind when I used to lift weights when I was younger. And the reason I say that is because my friends that were my age just exploded in power and the look of their body. And I never knew. I did not know about really the use of steroids. And I'm so glad I didn't, because if I had, I probably would have got involved in that, which I'm just so glad, because I was just a young person, and I just think I probably would experiment with that. And wow. And, but the whole point is, for me at that young age, my life, 18, 19 years old, I just witnessed my friends that lifted weights, and they just surpassed me by leaps and bounds. And I just couldn't figure that out. And I was working out at the gym every bit as hard or harder than they were. But these guys would just show up and do it all over again, and just got massive. So for us today, do you kind of feel left behind? I mean, I think more than ever in today's environment, who isn't feeling left behind? I mean, there's so many aspects of it: the social, economic, religious. I mean, your views. I mean, you can think about. We can just take the car market as the theme of being left behind. I mean, how many people right now feel like they've been left behind on the affordability of a vehicle, even though you're making decent to good money? I mean, even today, if you're making $100,000 a year anymore, that is not really substantial, huge monies that you earn that give you the capability to, buy these high-line, sophisticated, mass-produced cars and trucks. I mean, especially like the trucks. That Ford F-150 Lightning truck, the MSRP on that truck was $80,000. So it's an $80,000 truck. Well, a year ago, they were getting 10 and 20 grand over in those trucks. So a year ago, a lot of people were paying $100,000, even $120,000 for these 80-ish. If you want to get the platinum, you're up to $90,000. So just looking at the Ford F-150 Lightning truck, and even the Ford F-150 EcoBoost truck I have out there, that truck priced out at like $84,000. So who here doesn't feel left behind on the affordability aspect of buying these vehicles? And I'll be the first to raise my hand. Don't look at me to be the guy trying to sit here and say that I've been left behind. I'm just sharing in general where we are in today's world on the car side, truck side, vehicle side. How many here feel like they've been left behind because of the incredibly overnight increase of pricing for vehicles? And I hear it through my comments section a lot in my YouTube channel, how so many people are like, hey, I'm just not going to buy a new vehicle anytime soon. It's just too expensive. And the thing is, you can bring your vehicle in for trade that's 10 years old, maybe get 20 grand trade on a $80,000, $90,000 truck, but you're still going to have like a $70,000, $60,000 truck payment. That's $1,000, $1,200 easy truck payment without even insurance or anything else. So for somebody that makes 100 grand a year that has a family and has a house and has to buy food, all of a sudden signing up for a $1,500 a month payment to have a vehicle, that's a huge amount of money. But yet we see so much of it more than ever in our lifetime of people buying very high-line expensive vehicles, people buying very expensive homes. I mean, who here could justify buying the 1,800 square foot home for $350,000 to $400,000? I mean, it's like, wow. I mean, who can justify the $500,000 home anymore? That in so many markets really isn't much of anything. My parents' house in Florida is worth every bit right now of $540,000, maybe even $600,000. In that little home there in Florida, which it's basically a it's basically a one master bedroom, which is not a master bedroom. It's not that big. The bedroom I'm in is dinky as all get out. The bedroom my daughter sleeps in is my dad's office. And the kitchen, if we have company over, there's no room in the kitchen. The kitchen's cramped as all get out. The living room, same thing. It's cramped as all get out. I mean, the garage, you can barely park one car in the garage. I mean, for the newer, bigger cars today, you can't even park the car in the garage. I mean, but you're paying $600,000 in Florida for that house. Then you have $430 a month association fees that are going to continue to grow up and go up. Yesterday, I was thinking to myself about buying a boat in Florida. So I have the boat down there in Florida that's at a Port Tarpon Marina, and their fees have gone up over the years. And the fees now there are $530 a month. And I got to think to myself, wow, if you want to put your boat at a facility, and that size boat, it's a good sized boat. Could you trailer it? You can. I've done all that stuff, and it's such a drag to have to do that. I mean, especially if my father's age, and it's just, it's a lot of work. So, $530 a month storage fee over 12 months, that's $6,000. You're basically at close to $7,000 just on the storage fee. That doesn't include insurance to the boat. That doesn't include the fuel for the boat, the maintenance for the boat. Get this, when I was down with my brother, and my brother just does not really make any money. My brother is handicapped. He's basically deaf. And so I help my brother out a lot financially, and my family financially. And so for the boat, that boat now has 300 hours on it. Each motor has to be serviced at 300 hours, and it's a complete service. It's more about spark plugs. Spark plugs are like $25 each for that boat. Well, it's a 4-cylinder motor, but two make 8 cylinders, and you have to change out the thermostat. That's $100 and some odd bucks. I mean, long story short, $1,200 I spent to buy the stuff for maintenance on that boat, and with us doing it. Can you even imagine if I paid somebody to do it? That would be probably close to I would say very conservative $2,500 bill. I mean, I would think that the service end it could be $2,000, but still the whole point is maintain that boat. So being left behind. I mean, for anybody who goes out and buys a boat anymore, yeah, is it very down there in Florida? It's crazy, and how many people have boats. But what's really weird down there is, boy, I tell you, there's a lot of empty racks in the facility we're in. Even next door is a lot of empty racks. But I'm not hearing any dire circumstances in Florida, people not being able to afford to keep their boats at the marinas. I mean, there's a waiting list. Most marinas have a waiting list for you to go put your boat in the water. In Tennessee, when I was thinking about buying that boat down there at Bass Pro Shop, same thing. There's a waiting list. There's a 3-year waiting list, if not more, to get a boat slip at any of the nearby lakes. Wow. I mean, gee whiz. I mean, does just anybody here? I mean, so the car aspect of it, I think the pricing, and then so many of us are still resistant to the electric vehicle age, and we're just being hammered the hell out of for the electric vehicle age. Right now, General Motors, Stellantis, Hyundai, there's like 5 manufacturers that are now getting together that their goal is to install 30,000 charging stations beginning in 2024 throughout the country to help build out the electric vehicle infrastructure. And so for us Ice Age people, I mean, talk about being felt left behind. I mean, more than ever in our lifetime, we're witnessing the transition of the continued, never-ending pound of fist of going to the green agenda and electric vehicles. And so many know that you're being left behind because of the new technology, the new age. But at the same time, so many of you watch my channel, I guarantee you're like, yeah, I want to be left behind. I don't want anything to do with this malarkey of the electric vehicle age. There's a whole write-up on the GMC Hummer electric vehicle this morning I read about, and I had Hummers. I had like 4 Hummers back from like 2004 through 2000. I guess it was like 12, 11. I had like 4 different Hummers. I had the SUT and the SUV. I had the truck version and SUV. And so I was a Hummer guy. So yeah, would I like to have a new Hummer? It's so expensive. It's 110 grand. It's over 100 grand. I don't even know if you can get one for MSRP. And then it's a badass. I mean, the thing's 1,000 horsepower. It's a 200 kilowatt battery Hummer. It's fast as all get out, but it's massive as far as just the weight goes. And the editors or the review people that drove it, they like it. It's pretty cool. 4-wheel steering capability, the crab crawl, the raise and lower the suspension, but the interior is cheesy. So General Motors keeps the tradition going on the plastic cheesy material in the vehicle. So that's kind of one of the downsides to it. But other than that, it got a good review. It gets like 1.6 miles per kilowatt. It's 329 mile range, but the thing's over $100,000. And I've got the 131 kilowatt battery pack in my Ford Lightning truck and on my 240. If I run that thing down, there was only about 20% less left of battery life. That thing's a good 12, 14 hour charge. I can only imagine with a 200 kilowatt battery pack, if you run that thing down to only about 10 or 20% life in the battery, that's got to be on a 240, a 1 day charge. It'd have to be probably 22 hours, if not 24 hours, to recharge that on a 220. But I just think, wow. And that's the whole conversation all the time is people argue about is where is the infrastructure going to be to support all these electrical charging stations drawn off the grid? Where is it going to? Where is the infrastructure? Where's the massive power plants and all the electric cabling, and the list goes on and on and on being put in to at one point start charging all these vehicles? I was asking myself this morning, 30,000 charging stations. I wonder how many gas stations are in this country. And I just think, if you take the number of gas stations, what are you going to multiply it for electric vehicles? I mean, is it going to be at 10, 20, 30, as far as how many more electric charging stations you'll have to be able to take care of millions and millions of vehicles? I mean, because it's just a whole different ball game. But anyways, yeah, being left behind. So in the car industry, I think so many could probably relate with where we are in today's economics of the car and truck industry. And I'm sure many people, it's just way too expensive. Then you go to, like I just spoke about, the housing industry. I mean, who here feels good about spending a lot of money for a house today that you just kind of second guess yourself possibly that you're the guy buying that house for $800,000? Does it stay that price? I mean, does it last? And with interest rates, yeah, you were left behind big time if you didn't sign up for the 2, 3%, 4% interest rates. Another thing I was thinking about this past week is being played. When I was talking about being played, think about the stock market. Think if you were the person that last year decided to finally sell your stocks when it got to about 30K or below 30K on the Dow. I mean, think that through. You were a fool. You shouldn't have done it. You enriched those that bought your stocks, where we're now back to close to a 36K market, or when you see 38. So you think to yourself, wow, all these doomer gloomers, and I was talking about the other days, all these doomer gloomers have now left you behind. They're all preaching to you, sell your house. Sell, a year ago, you better cash out of your house because the market's going to crash. You better cash out of your stocks because the market's going to crash. You better sell your car because the market's going to crash. But yet, if you were these people participating in this, now you're like, well, wait a second. The stock market has come back at the biggest rally in years. The housing market hasn't crashed. The car gave up. The cars aren't really any dirt cheaper than they were a year ago. So you've been left behind. If you fell into all these doomer gloomers and listened to their rhetoric every day, you literally are now being left behind. Because can you afford to buy back what you got? I don't think so. And then here's the other thing: in your social justice, if your views of life, if your ideology, whatever your core beliefs are, I mean, more than ever, are you being left behind because of you just have what you were brought up with and taught of what you thought was right versus wrong versus more than ever today? Are we witnessing more than ever today that you even just look at what goes on around us and you just think, how is that right? How is that right? That the people that have the basic common sense and really good, just good morals and good views and a strong foundation in so many aspects, you can sometimes feel like you're being left behind. That you're the problem because you're not bending to all these radical new views and ideas of how people are to be and what they're to be, and you look at the governing bodies of how they are supposed to protect the citizens of their states and cities, and you just scratch your head. It's like, am I being left behind? That on my views are wrong? Oh my goodness gracious! Here we are with Fox Business News, and all it is now is about impeachment. It's all about, it's focal points to talk about just nonstop rhetoric of one guy that needs to go to jail. Now the other guy needs to go to jail. So the two political parties, instead of these political parties actually working to make this country better, all they do is do infighting and point the finger at these people who get elected, that people elect these individuals. But then, half the country believes that was the wrong person. But, it doesn't matter which party. And then the political, your senators and congressmen, they seem just to spend their day in, day out, along with MSNBC, Fox News, and everybody else, just the constant same message day in, day out, that I hate these people, that these are terrible people, and what are they doing now? What are the politicians doing for our country? I mean, for the record, everything's more expensive, right? For the record, we're at war, basically, with Russia. I mean, right? Our laws seem to be twisted, and it seems like we have a lawless society more than ever in modern times. The illegal immigration is a major problem. I mean, healthcare is a major problem. Homeless people is a major problem. Drug addictions are a major problem. Suicides and actual fentanyl deaths is a huge problem. We were hearing that the continued challenge of getting materials is a huge problem. But we're going to hear about how now we need to focus on this son of this guy. He needs to go to jail. And that's all you're going to hear about. Then you're going to hear about another guy that needs to go to jail because he had boxes in his house. And then you're going to hear all day about the other guy needs to go to jail because he made a phone call and he was a business partner with others. I mean, but meanwhile, what is going on around us? We're all being left behind. Yeah, this country is being left behind by these foolish politicians in office that have agendas to try to get themselves reelected by creating the hate of the other. I mean, that's all it is. They're trying to be reelected to create the hate of the other, and the people play into this all day long and argue and fight among themselves. Look at Twitter, now X, talk about being left behind. So Twitter, I think I'm right. X, Elon Musk company, I talked about this the other day. I think Elon Musk has changed the name of Twitter, and I think his X company, whatever he calls it, has bought out Twitter. Unbeknownst to us, I think that he is maneuvering himself from lawsuits and liabilities associated with Twitter. And the real news is that Elon has set up a whole new company called X, and he can walk away from all the Twitter, I guess, previous problems. And in so many aspects, the new X company is based in Las Vegas, Nevada. And how is it structured, and does it protect him from future lawsuits? from the social media machine and all the things he's going to do with the his marketing, his the marketplace of banking and business dealings, and the list goes on and on and on. The new platform, but a lot of people think that he's made a huge mistake of dumping Twitter. And as far as I know, the Twitter name is gone. I mean, somebody here can correct me, and I even kind of questioned myself the other day talking about this. But the Twitter name has been left behind. The Twitter bird has been left behind. Here's what's interesting. People on LinkedIn are pissed because all of a sudden they're showing X little symbols next to their name. And when they used to have the little Twitter bird next to their name, I guess. And people are now reaching out and saying, take that X away from my name. I don't want anything to do with that new brand. Yeah, so is Elon Musk going to leave behind a lot of subscribers and users? I mean, is that the next phase for Elon? I mean, what is Elon leaving behind? That's what I think to myself. What is Elon leaving behind of Twitter that has liabilities that, in his book, he's cut the ties, and a new company owns Twitter, and Twitter will be dissolved, and I don't know what the laws and guidelines are, how long you can sue a company for this and that. I mean, I don't know. But I really think it's always about the money. It's always about Elon. And I just think that he's up to something that has to do more with the money factor and business dealings to protect himself from the Twitter years, from all the devious things they did to others through the Twitter. If you don't know what I'm talking about that, then you're just not even, you've been left behind. Once again, you're being left behind. If you're not in social media, in so many aspects, you're being left behind because you see so much more information on social media than you will the general news networks that you see on TV. So, all right, everybody. Hey, I just thought I'd reach out again, keep the morning conversations going. And, yeah, the projects, man, I tell you, I'm slammed. I am literally slammed. And, wow, it's just incredible. It's going on in my life this year. The challenges that I have had to rise to and keep things going, and that's what it's all about. And I don't want to be left behind. You don't want to be left behind. So how do we get ahead of the curve instead of behind the curve? Is that what we could say? I mean, what dynamics change? What starts to change in this country where the pricing of vehicles start to tame down, the housing prices start to tame down, the social justice starts to tame down, the drug overdoses starts to tame down, the fentanyl overdoses, the drug trade. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. When does that start to kind of reverse itself? The crime? When does the respect for others start to reverse itself, or people respect each other more than they hate each other? I mean, when does this all start to tame down? And I think it's all about the leadership more than ever in our country. And sadly, do we have the right leaders in place that can change the direction of this country to bring it back to the core foundation of where we came from? And what's incredible is that core foundation today is being beat up like never seen ever before. That if your beliefs and your views and values and ideas, you're being left behind. All right, everybody. Hey, thanks for watching. Appreciate everybody's support. Nice comments. Hope everybody has a great day. And stay tuned for more adventures and more stories. And stay safe. God bless. And stay tuned. Have a great day.